What's good, y'all? It's your boy Biospider 3.0, keeping the action going with the Soosootoys Blazing Lion Warrior, aka Wild Force Red Ranger in 6 scale. Alright, man, so here we are. And before we get into the review, I just want to give a quick shout out to Calf Lecter on Instagram. Alright, shout outs to you, brother. You've been taking some great photos of these guys. You guys make sure you're following him on Instagram if you have one. He takes some amazing photos of all of these Soosootoys Ranger releases that have been coming out. His collection is growing, man. I mean, Soso just keeps killing it with these. So he's taking some awesome pictures for us. Got these guys in some really dope poses, as well as done his own reviews. So make sure you check those out as well. He's got his own YouTube channel where he has his reviews. So make sure you check those out. But man, I mean, just really dope. And not only that, he has been talking to Soosootoys, you know, like behind the scenes. He's been letting them know what Rangers the fans specifically want. So, you know, me and that Metromania have been, you know, just super hyped about all these new releases. And we've been in talks with him, and he's just a super cool guy, man. He's been telling Soso, you know, some of the major Ranger releases that we want to see them do. And so Soso is listening, and they're keeping, you know, all our thoughts in mind. And so going forward, we should be seeing a lot of, you know, Rangers that we really want to see, you know, get released from them, which is really awesome. So it's nice that Soso cares about their fans, and they really want to, you know, make us happy and, you know, provide us with the Rangers that we want. So yeah, shout outs to Soso, shout outs to Calf Lecter, and of course that Metromania, the best 6 scale Power Ranger reviewer on YouTube. All right, period. All right, but here we are, man. So yeah, we got Wild Force Red here. You can see I got my guy posed up in a little swagged out, you know, a little cool Mac Daddy pose, right? Just chilling on his box here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just move the box so we can see him up close. I just wanted to get him in that pose real quick to start off the video. But let me get him in a nice neutral standing pose for y'all. So here we go. Get his head kind of facing forward here. I'm gonna put his arms down at his side. All right, so put these down. And man, does this guy look good, man. Just like the, you know, previous 4 releases that we got from Soso. I only have 3. I never did get the Gold Ranger, the Zeo Gold Ranger. But I do have obviously the other 3, which, you know, all those reviews are up on the channel. If you haven't seen those, be sure to check those out. But yeah, today we're looking at Wild Force Red. And I gotta say, man, I've always been a fan of this suit and all of the Wild Force suits in general. Like, I just really like how they look. Yeah, man, they're just like really nice looking suits. My bad, let me get this paper out the way. I didn't realize I was in the camera, but yeah. Really like the way these Wild Force suits look. Very sleek, just very streamlined, very form-fitting to the bodies. And I always like, you know, the animal style helmets. So you know, he's obviously the red lion, blazing red lion, so he's got the, you know, lion motif going for his helmet. I always liked, you know, their helmet designs. And I remember watching a video, I think it was like a Mojo or something like that, but they were explaining how a lot of the budget for Wild Force really just went into their helmets. Like, they had some of like the most, I guess, detailed and just like, you know, very like, I don't even know the word, very elegant, very clean looking helmets. And yeah, a lot of the budget, I guess, went strictly into their helmets. But I mean, I think it paid off because their helmets are probably like some of my favorite looking. Like, they're very clear, you know, you can like very easily tell what animal they are just by looking at them. It doesn't take you long to figure it out. Like, they're very clear as far as what animal they are portraying. And yeah, I really do like the overall look of the outfit. You know, the sash, it's a very like nice royal regal type of look. It just looks really cool. And like, obviously the red and gold, that's always like a great combination. Like, that's always gonna be eye-catching. And I really like the choice of red that they chose for the suit here. The fabric looks absolutely fantastic. You can see how nice and shiny it is. It looks very you know, show accurate, like spandex. You know, it's meant to emulate like a spandex suit, which it does very nicely. And yeah, man, I just absolutely love the gold throughout his costume, the gold accents, and yeah, just a really nice costume overall. So definitely one of my favorite Red Ranger suits. And yeah, So I spent, some time yesterday playing around with this guy, getting him posed up, and I gotta say his posability is absolutely amazing. Being that he doesn't have any armor or anything to like hinder his movements, he's able to get a lot of really good range in the arms. He can get the arms, across the body. The legs also have. I was surprised at the leg range. I think I actually got him into basically a full splits, which I was not expecting. So I can't remember if Tommy had that same range of movement, but I mean, given that, actually all three of them, Dino Thunder White and Ninja Storm Green, I don't think any of them really should technically be hindered in the legs because they're all built exactly like him. So I'll have to, test that after the review to see if they can get into full splits too, or at least come close. But he's able to get into pretty much a full splits, which we'll see in the play and display section. So let's see here. Yeah, I guess I'll just bring him up close for a closer look real quick. Or it's gonna be kind of hard because he's so big. Dang, I forgot to bring in the rotating display stand too. Maybe I'll grab that later if I have time. But yeah, just to give you guys like a quick front to back look. Yeah, he looks absolutely fantastic. Now, my one small gripe that I do have with this guy is that the this part right here where like the sash comes around the back and comes up back to the collar, it does look a little bit ugly right here, like as it crosses the seam line that goes runs down the middle. And I know a lot of people have a problem with the seam line, like they think it looks pretty ugly from the back, but I personally don't mind it because number one, it is in the back, and two, I mean, how else are they gonna really put that together? I mean, they're gonna have to like stitch it somewhere, and I guess it seems like it only makes sense. And it seems like in the show, like the spandex suits, they tend to have a seam line in the back of a lot of their suits too, anyways. So I don't really care too much about the seam line there. But it's just the transition of these stripes right here that looks a little bit off. Like it doesn't have quite the curve that I would want it to look natural. And then obviously like the collar comes down and whatnot. But like I said, it doesn't look too bad. And obviously I'm not going to be looking at him from the back, so that's not a big deal. But that's just something I wanted to note real quick. But other than that, like aesthetics wise, I give this guy basically a 10 out of 10. I mean, I think they nailed literally everything else on his costume. The helmet looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at that, man. Just absolutely beautiful. The lion helmet and everything. Let's see if we can bring it up kind of close here. It's always awkward because he's so big. But just so you guys can get a sense of the detail, I mean, it is done very, very nice. Very nice sculpt, nice paintwork. And one thing that I want to mention before I forget is that this helmet does seem to have like a slightly more glossy look compared to the first three releases that we looked at. So like, Dino Thunder White and Black, and then Ninja Storm Green. They all seem to not really have like, any true gloss to the helmets. Like they're done in a very like matte finish. Whereas this one I feel like at least has like maybe a satin finish because it is reflecting light a lot. I'm not gonna say a lot more, but definitely more than those other three that I just mentioned. So hopefully going forward, continues to add a little bit more of like a glossy look to the helmets. I think that'll really help and obviously give them a more show accurate look. So yeah, hopefully that is the case in the future. But yeah, man, he just looks absolutely fantastic. And yeah. And of course, I want to remind you guys, anytime you're handling figures like this with, fabric or cloth on them, you obviously want to make sure you have clean hands before you handle them. You guys remember my story about my White Ranger when I had like dirty hands. I had some chocolate on there and then I accidentally touched him and got like a big, stain on his torso, and I was just freaking out about it. But thankfully I was able to get it out, right? Just using a little bit of warm water and soap. I was able to kind of, scrub it out gently. I'm noticing right now that he actually has a little stain back here on his butt. I think I laid him on the ground once and he got a little dirty, so I'm probably gonna have to do that on this guy. Take a little hot water and soap and try to scrub a little bit of that dirt out because I'm not liking that. I think I got some on his arms too, dang. Yeah, that is the one caveat about these figures is they are hard to keep clean just because of, the nature of them, the fabric and everything. They will keep stains if you don't keep them clean. So But yeah, it shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, anytime you notice a stain, you just obviously you don't want to leave it there. As quickly as you can get to it, you want to try to scrub those out, and it should come out, and it should still look really good afterwards. Just let it dry. But yeah, this guy looks fantastic, man. So let's go ahead and get to his accessories, and then we'll jump into play and display. All right. So starting for the hands. Am I missing a hand? I think I'm actually missing a hand for some reason. Let's see here. Yeah, I am missing. I'm missing a gripping hand. I guess I left it. I must have left it on the table yesterday when I was displaying, kind of messing around with it and changing out the hands. But anyways, I guess I'll just show you that one first. So he does come with two gripping hands. He's got a pair of gripping hands. So these, he's got like a little bit of space, and these are pretty flexible. They're made of a nice pliable plastic so that you're able to stretch them and get weapons into his hand. But you can see they're done in a nice white paint, and they are sculpted very, very nicely. You can see a little bit of like wrinkles going through the gloves. Obviously you got the line work on top, and those all look really, really good. So yeah, very like realistic looking, human glove hand right there for gripping. So you get two of those. I'm not sure what the other one is right now. Well, I have an idea, but that's one of them. And then you have two fist hands. So these are completely closed, no space in between. These are just full on fist. And you can see again, very, very nice sculpt and paint work again. All right, so you can put up his dukes. All right, give him that 1-2 combo. Very, very nice. Even got like that little kind of like, overlaying like little strap looking piece inside there by the palm. That's pretty cool. And yeah, very nice sculpted wrinkles and things. So you got two fist hands. You have two of these kind of like open style posing hands. They're kind of, you could use them as relaxed hands if you wanted to, but they're not, fully relaxed. He has the relaxed hands on him right now. But yeah, these are pretty cool, kind of like style pose, like the fingers are curled in a little bit. You can definitely get him hitting some pretty cool poses with these. Again, very, very nice paint work and sculpts. You get two of those. And you get two kind of trigger finger hands because he does come with his lion blaster. And these work really well. I was able to get him into a really nice pose with his lion blaster yesterday. And I will be posting some of the photos that I took yesterday on the channel, so be sure to look out for those. I took a little photo op of this guy, and I think I got him into some pretty nice poses, if I do say so myself. But yeah, he has these trigger finger hands, so this is gonna fit nicely. Like you can actually get his index finger to slip into like the trigger for the lion blaster pretty easily, so that's nice. And he does look very good holding that weapon. But yeah, you do have two trigger finger hands like that. And last but not least, probably the best or most important hands that he comes with, the claw hands. And yes, I will definitely be having him displayed quite a bit with these because they're such unique hands to him and like the rest of the Wild Force Rangers, to have like these claws that actually like come out from their gloves and like these little black kind of like pads, kind of like remind me of like the pads on like a dog's paw. But yeah, you have like those. And they are very nicely sculpted and painted. Really nice detail on those claw hands. I mean, I love the brown paint for the claws, and again the black for like the little oval pads. And yeah, it just looks really, really nice. And they do look great on him. So yeah, you get two of those. So that's all the hands that you get. And you do get the two ankle extenders in case you are like a 3-0 or a 6 scale collector. I know some companies do make their 6 scale figures a little bit bigger than the Soso ones. So Soso is trying to kind of compensate with them and give you some ankle extenders in case you want to boost the height on these guys. I never use these because I think they look perfect as they are. I don't really care to make them any taller. And I feel like on some Rangers, it definitely makes them look like pretty weird once you add the ankle extenders. Like their legs look kind of extra long, so I'm not really gonna ever use these, but they are included in case you want to do, use them. And of course you have a acrylic base or stand to put them on, as well as, a little stand to plug in and hold them up with the little, crotch grabber. So you have like this little clear acrylic stand with this little crotch grabber piece to keep them upright. And you have this, acrylic little very plain base or whatever. So just slide it out of this packaging right here. And it looks kind of like that. I think you can, you can like peel off this little underpiece, and it should just be a completely clear acrylic stand. And you would just plug in that this little piece. Let's see if it actually fits this time, because I think last time the hole, it still seems like the hole is a little bit small. I think people had to drill and actually like make this hole a little bigger. So definitely needs to work on that. I think they should definitely fix that, because that was the issue for people last time. It seems like they haven't fixed it yet. But yeah, you do get that if you want to display your Ranger on a stand. All right, and as far as his weapons, one of them is already on him. I don't know if you noticed, but he does have his crystal saber. We'll see that in just a minute. But I do have it holstered at his side. But he also comes with his lion blaster, which is very, very nicely detailed and painted. It's got a nice weight to it too. It's like very heavy towards the front because of the plastic they used. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. You got that silver barrel like sticking out of the lion mouth right there, and a really nice gold color for the lion itself, like for the face. And then back here, it's kind of like a slightly more doled out gold for like the mane of the lion. But yeah, this part looks really, really nice. All the black line work in there, the green eyes. I mean, everything looks super nice on this. Really great sculpt and paint work on this. I mean, they killed it. Got all the details in there. You got your silver, got a little bit of like a lion or some, symbol right there with the gold. And then that's the trigger. That's where you can, insert his trigger finger, the index finger for that when he's about to fire. Got the black there. Yeah, all around a very, very nice piece. So that is his lion blaster. And then you also have, that's where it is. I forgot. So I found that other gripping hand. I forgot that I had left it in here. So this is his, I forgot what you call this. I haven't watched Wild Force in a while. I forgot what he calls this weapon, but this is like basically a little lion thing that he puts his fist inside, and it's kind of like a clamp, like he can hold it. And so, yeah, he has this as another weapon. In the box, it does come in like 2 separate pieces, but I was able to kind of get it to, there's basically like a little slot inside the lion's mouth, like towards the bottom of this top piece. And you kind of have to get like this bottom part to you kind of had to like pinch it, because it was kind of like almost the exact same width as this. So I kind of had to like pinch it in, and so that it would go inside this top piece, and then slide it into the slot so that it would be held in place. But yeah, and then once you do that, it is basically kind of like in one piece, but you can kind of like move the jaw a little bit up and down, so you can kind of like maneuver it. It would move more if I didn't have the hand in there, but since I already have the hand attached, it's not moving, very much up and down, but it does move this bottom part, this jaw piece. So that's pretty cool. And then yeah, as you can see, his other gripping hand is already in there. So it just makes it easier to install later in case I want to do that. But yeah, very nice paintwork on this little lion thing, whatever you call it. The red against nice green for the eyes in there. Like the eyes are kind of recessed, but they look really good. And you have the gold and the black. Super sharp line work, the silver paint for the teeth. Super nice. And then at the bottom you have this kind of black with this gold, almost candelabra looking pattern, which is really nice. And yeah, just all around great details. So you have that. And that pretty much does it for his weapons, except for we also have the crystal saber. So let me go ahead and slide that out of his holster and show you that up close. So yeah, here is his crystal saber, and it is done beautifully, man. Absolutely love the paintwork on this, the nice shiny silver. I don't know why I was thinking this was gonna be like actual metal. It is not. It's plastic, but on camera it probably does look like it's metal. Because yeah, I was thinking this was gonna be like a heavier piece. It's actually like really lightweight. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. I don't know why I expected this to actually be metal, because none of the other Rangers that had like swords, none of their blades were done in metal. It's always plastic. It just has a metally finish to it with the paint. But yeah, it's done very, very nice. And then obviously that red ruby, or like the ruby in the middle of his crystal saber, is done very, very nice, very shiny. It really does look like a real ruby in there. And then the gold colors surrounding it for the kind of sun pattern, or whatever you want to call that. The white for his for the handle of the dagger, and then some more gold at the tip there. Yeah, very, very nice piece. Absolutely beautiful. I always like the look of the crystal sabers, even if they're not like my favorite weapons of all time, but I always do really like the look of these. Very elegant and pristine looking weapons. So yeah, there you go. And that fits very, very nice and snug into his holster at his side, which you can see up close right now. Also has some great detail of its own, so it's basically just done in mostly white, but then you have the kind of gold in there for that symbol. I guess that's another lion. And then you have a little gold right here, a little gold strip down here. But yeah, his holster is very nicely attached to the belt, nice and snug. And yeah, and you can just slide the crystal saber in there like so. And booyah, and now his outfit is complete. So yeah, that's it as far as like his accessories. I showed you guys kind of like in the first look, but he does also have the cover slip that comes inside the box when you first open him up. So I had it upside down, but here we go. Yeah, so you do get this inside the box when you first take off the cover. This is what you are met with, and I really, really do like these slip covers, man. These are dope kind of like background display pieces to have. So, I think you would look really cool posed up in front of this. Maybe you can try to emulate this pose as well. And obviously the big lion symbol in the middle there, but yeah, really, really cool addition to have with your figure. But now let's get to the best part, his posability. All right, so some play and display action. See what this guy can do. All right, so we'll start with the head articulation. He is able to look up quite far, so the neck does move with the head, but he's able to bend back and get his head looking up pretty far there. There's a side view for you. So that looks really good. He's able to look down very far, like literally basically tuck his chin all the way in. So that is great as well. Coming back up, we can look side to side, no problem. Holding there, side to side. And you can actually get a full 360. All right, so the neck is not gonna, move with the head when you twist side to side, really only when you go up and down, which is what you want. All right, so keep the neck kind of stationary, but you can rotate the head all the way around. And you do get some very, very nice leaning in there as well for those kind of nuanced, expressive poses side to side, all right? So he's got great range in the head. And then for the arms, let's see, with the shoulders, so you can raise up better than a 90 degrees on both sides. So he's able to get practically a Y pose, so a little bit better than your typical T pose, so that's good. Shoulders do go nice and high, come down by the sides, nice and smooth, looks natural, and you can get them coming back pretty far. You want to be, careful, obviously. Take your time, be gentle. But yeah, you can move the arms very, very far back. And I noticed once you start to get to like around this point, like really, not that you would ever like need his arm this far back, but once you get it kind of like around here, it does seem to kind of like mess with the head a little bit. I think like the internal skeleton, like the shoulder piece probably is like connected like right here around like where the neck is. So like once you start pushing it, it does kind of hit the head too. So I try not to like, go any further than that, but you can get like really, really far back, as you can see. and then you can come really far forward as well, and the fabric stretches with the arm, which is nice. And so you can actually get it coming pretty far forward. You might have to like rotate the arm a little bit too. Obviously there's no like bicep swivel that you can physically see, but you might have to like rotate the arm a little bit out as you push it up, just so that it doesn't fight you as much. But yeah, you can get it coming really high as well, about that much. All right. And obviously you don't want to push it too far. You don't want to stretch the fabric too much, but you can get some really nice range going, forward and back from the arm. And like I said, obviously no bicep swivel, but you can rotate the arm inward and outward, and it looks very natural. So I'm sure like the skeleton under the suit probably has like some kind of brake or like swivel, maybe something similar to like the SH Figure Arts setup, to where you're able to rotate the biceps in and out. And yeah, so that looks really good. Obviously just be careful with the fabric, but yeah. And then you get some very nice bend out of the elbows. All right, and so in certain poses his elbow does look a little weird. I mean, all of the rangers kind of have this issue where when you bend it at a certain, past a certain point, it does get this very flat look for the elbow. So depending on what pose you're doing, he might look a little weird around this area, but I mean, it is what it is, and it doesn't look too bad, honestly. It's nice that he's able to get such a deep crunch out of the elbow, so that is really nice. And you can bring that back down. All right, and then these gauntlet pieces, so basically from here to here, this is like a separate piece, so you can slide it off, and then the fabric is continued underneath. And the hands themselves are like on a hinge, not quite like SH Figure Arts, so you can't really like. You can move it like a little bit up and down, but it's not gonna like hold a pose as well as like a hard plastic type of figure, because this is done in like a very soft type of plastic, almost like a vinyl material. So yeah, just know that. But yeah, you can rotate the hands a 360, so that's good. And like I said, a little bit up and down, in and out as well. So you can get them kind of coming in towards the body, coming away from the body, and slightly up and down vertical action, so that's good. For the torso, you can bend him forward using the torso joint. Get him bending forward about that much, which is all right, not bad. And you get him bending back about, actually, yeah, you get pretty decent range of bending backwards. So just using that torso, you get about that much for bending. And then you can rotate a little bit side to side. I don't want to stress it too much, but yeah, you can rotate decently to each side. You kick the legs up about that far. It's pretty nice. And coming back only about that much. It gets hindered. Hard skeleton, so it only goes back about that far. But then you do have your double jointed knees, which have plenty of bend. So he comes back almost to the lower back, so that's pretty good. And just like the arms, you can kind of swivel in and out from the thighs, so that looks pretty good. And from the feet, you got to be careful with these because they can pop out on you, but you can kind of get the foot going basically all the way to the tippy toes. You can hinge up about that far. Okay, hopefully that you guys can see that. And you have an ankle pivot, so you can swivel the foot at the ankle as well as rotate side to side, because it is like on a ball peg basically that pops in, so you can rotate from that ball, and that looks pretty good. And then as far as out to the side, like I said before, he's able to get almost like a perfect splits, which surprised me. You do have to take it kind of slow, but if you keep pushing, yeah, you can basically get him all the way. See, you can kind of hear it like click a little bit, but just be gentle, go slow, and you can pretty much get a perfect splits out of this guy. So yeah, man, I was really impressed by that range. I was not expecting that. But yeah, so you can go very far out to the side with the legs. Just be very gentle, don't rush it, don't force anything, but yeah, he's got some really nice range, man. Really great stuff. And then as far as like coming across the body, like I said, since he doesn't have any armor hindering him, he can come pretty far forward. And then if you use like the elbows, you know, you can really get him crossing his arms across the chest. You guys saw in that first pose that I had him in. But yeah, you can get some really nice across the body action or front, you know, front kind of forward action with the arms. You can come back pretty far like that. So looking from the side, you can come back about that far. So you get some nice, you know, swinging forward and back motion. All right, and there you go. So yeah, man, great posability. I was able to get this guy into some really awesome action poses. Like I said, I'll definitely post those on the channel so you guys can check that out. But yeah, man, just another banger from Soso, man. I don't know what to say. Like, what did we expect, right? I mean, they've been killing it. If you guys have seen my reviews on the first 3 releases, you know that Soso is the business, man. I'm loving them. So, you know, I'm still new to the 6 scale collecting game, but I'm really glad that Soso decided to venture into Power Rangers, because I think they're making the best 6 scale, you know, Ranger figures right now, if I'm being honest. And like I said, I don't own any 3-0 at the moment, but yeah, these so far are my favorite, you know, 6 scale Rangers. So yeah, shout outs to Soso for killing it, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me go ahead and show you guys some size comparisons real quick. So first up, we'll get him with the Ninja Storm Green Ranger from Soso. All right, so we got Ninja Storm Green right here on this side. And we'll bring in Dino Thunder Black Ranger, or Mr. Tommy, on this side. All right. And as you can see, he scales very nice with these two. They are perfectly in line, right? Same company, so they should be. And yeah, he scales very nice with them. He's just a slightly taller than Green here, and Tommy's just around just about the same height. So yeah, these 3 look very excellent with one another. So I'm loving how all these Soso Rangers look together. Cannot wait to unbox these other reds that I got. And of course, we have to get Dino Thunder White, Mr. Trent, or Abarekila with him. So let me slide this over this way a bit so you guys can see that. And yeah, these two look absolutely epic with one another. Really loving how this looks. Oh man, these look so freaking good. Damn it, Soso. You guys are taking all my money, but it's worth it, man. It is absolutely worth it at the end of the day. All right, so there he is. Let's move him out the way. And I'll show you with a couple of other kind of 6 scale figures that I have in my collection from when I was a kid. So we have this Spider-Man. I'm not exactly sure which Spider-Man, you know, what you call this particular one, but I have this kind of tall Spider-Man here, about 12 inch, and then I have a spectacular Spider-Man figure as well. So let me see if you can see that guy too. Move this out the way. I'm gonna back the camera up quite a bit because these guys are so big. All right, and there you go. So yeah, these guys scale pretty much, you know, perfectly in scale with this guy, especially Spectacular. He's a little bit shorter, but not too bad. So that works out pretty good. And I'll show you this Galactus figure that I have, and this big Batman Begins figure, who's honestly, like, I feel like in a bigger scale than all these other guys. He might be like, I don't know. I feel like, I'm not exactly sure how tall he is. I never measured him, but he's definitely bigger. But yeah, you can see how he scales with those guys. And yeah, Batman is obviously huge, and Galactus is definitely got some height as well over this guy. But yeah. And last thing I wanted to mention for the review is that Soso just announced yesterday that they are releasing a 5-pack of the entire Wild Force team. So now we are going to be getting the entire team. All right, so let me show you guys this Reddit post real quick. All right, so check this out. Check out this 5-pack that Soso is doing. So all the other Rangers from Wild Force are being released in a 5-pack. All right, so show you guys some images here. If it'll let me, hold on. Okay, it's not letting me. Let me try from here. No? Dang, what's going on? Oh, okay. I gotta go back. I was going the wrong way. But yeah, here you go. So you got black and yellow here. Here's some shots. White. Yellow and white. There you go. You got blue and yellow here. All right. And that Lunar Wolf, man, that Lunar Wolf looks so amazing. So I didn't realize that this was a 5-pack at first. I was going to just order the Lunar Wolf and go one by one. But yeah, I guess it is a 5-pack. So yeah, I will definitely be getting that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. And I'll see you in the next